Hello everybody, the captain here. We got another video request, and as always, you can send your questions and some money for my time. Go to assholeconsulting.com, and the great Maha Clary will answer all, as long as it's legal. This comes from Joe, and Joe writes, rock legend and proud capitalist Gene Simmons recently declared that rock and roll is dead, and that the fans killed it. The remark has garnered rage from several rockers who naturally disagree. AC/DC had the song Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution, in which they said it would never die. I'm kind of ambivalent about Gene's remarks. I look at video games coming out like Rock Band and Guitar Hero. I think that rock might be inspiring more people now than ever. On the other hand, I don't think there will ever be any more truly influential bands out there like Kiss, AC/DC, the Ramones, Rem, or Nirvana. Well, Nirvana. Excuse me. I think we're just at a point in it all where we're stuck with mediocrity. I want an asshole's opinion about it, so that's why I'm contacting you. Is rock and roll dead? Well, one thing I will, excuse me. There it is. Like anything else, the people who are the groundbreakers, the pioneers in anything, they're the ones that are going to, first mover advantage. They're going to be the most, I don't want to say necessarily the most successful, but they're going to be the ones that define it, kind of not only define what the music is, but get that motif or tone or sound. And those are the ones, like Mozart and Beethoven, they're still writing symphonic plays, but these guys kind of made it, they're the ones that kind of provide the parameters or the rules or the structure by which opera and symphonic music goes by. You could say the same thing with jazz, the early pioneers like the Duke Ellingtons, and maybe a little bit later, Miles Davises and Thelonious Monk and those guys. And now jazz, you're either playing old jazz or you're playing new jazz or acid jazz, which just sounds like shit. And so there's no giants anymore in the industry because it's genre. What's the word I'm looking for? That skill or that art has been played out. It's been done. So I don't think you're gonna. Yeah, you probably won't see Kiss or AC/DC, but that doesn't mean rock and roll is dead. It's been fleshed out. Now, more specifically to Gene's concerns about where rock and roll is dead, I disagree with him completely. I understand he's upset about theft and people downloading music for free or getting books for free, whatever, any kind of media for free, and he should be. But what I think he's also upset about is the way that music today is getting compensated. And I don't know if he's maybe just old or what, but I think he kind of oh, look, people can listen to music on YouTube. And so, well, yeah, but it's a fundamental change is what's happened in the music industry. And it's identical to the book publishing industry, okay? Back then, you had these asshole, cocksucking, elitist, cronyistic, nepotistic pieces of fuck over in New York and London. And then they would give writing contracts to their nephews and nieces and people who suck their cocks. And that's, and maybe some good books would get in there. But it was not a meritocracy. You had to know someone in there. Maybe, you'd find a publishing house there, but it was impossible. It was the same thing with music. You had to go with a record label. And then they ass raped you. They ass raped you for commission and royalties and all that. Like a book deal, when I first started it, online publishing was just starting to get to be feasible. And I was looking at what these publishing houses were like. Oh, we'll give you 8% for the first couple lists, and then you spend more time dicking around trying to get the damn book published than you will actually writing your piece of work. And 8%. Well, now Amazon comes in and says, here's 75%. Thank you. Thank you very much. Same thing with recording. Was it Epic Records or Griffin and all those guys? I'm so glad that they're I'm so glad Napster happened. I'm happy. All right. Not because it stole the musicians' power, but it gave them more power. It destroyed the big record labels. So now if you're a musician, you go directly to your clients. You throw it up on YouTube, you offer it on iTunes, you don't get the charge. Remember paying $20 for a fucking CD? You know, go to Cheapo Records, find it for $10. Hopefully it wasn't scratched. Now that's all gone. Well, Cheapo Records is still around. But it's done. Now you get to directly go to your client or to your potential market. And what that has done is it has increased, opened up the floodgates to any musician. And there's some shit musicians. Absolutely no doubt about it. There are some, you can't call them artists. They're not artists. But any media, you know, I've seen actual artists. I've seen people who try to do cartoons. It's like, that was a fucking joke. You look at, what is it over in Gamergate? That gal who, there's two gals, or one gal and then a group of gals. They came out with these video games that are just ding fucking ding. I mean, they're crap. So that, yeah, obviously, you know, you're going to, and self-publishing, good Lord. I don't want to hear another 21-year-old kid say, yeah, I want to write about picking up chicks, and what do you think, Mike? Shut the fuck up. You go grow some pubic hair before you get a fucking date. Jesus Christ. Fucking expert, my ass. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of shit. Maybe that's what Gene Simmons is upset about. He's like looking at all this crap. But at the same time, you know, you have these true geniuses, these people who are truly talented, who can now make it in the industry and aren't, you know, who would have maybe gotten deterred or overlooked by the gatekeepers of big record labels or big publishing or big video. So it is a good thing. It's gonna result in more music of every kind and every quality. Crappy music, great music, average music, good music. So the thing is that for musicians, you have to deal with the new pricing, which I think is much better. You can go to iTunes, make a lot of money. You can, of course, burn your own CDs if you want, if you're at, you know, even Bill Burr burns his own. Hell, when I taught my dance classes, I burned my dance instruction DVD. I should throw that up on the YouTubes. Then you guys can look at me when I was younger. Hey, look at that guy. Look at this is what he did for a living. Even collecting, like I do on this thing, you know, we get advertising. That's how we, through the YouTube AdSense program. I don't know what it is. I signed up for a while ago. But the guy, the Gangman dude in South Korea, the first YouTube video to break 1 billion hits, he made, I don't know what, $7 million. Jenna Marbles is another example. That gal is estimated to make $4 million a year because she does her thing. It's great. So, you know, yeah, you're not going to have, I hate to say, I think, you know, monsters of rock, that's gone. That's, you know, people are getting old. You don't hear people clamoring for, what's his name, the Glenn Miller Band, do you? Because they're all dead. It's, you know, that's just the way it's going to go. So Gene Simmons should just be happy, like the Rolling Stones, that he's got a bunch of aging baby boomers and older Gen Xer types that remember the 70s fondly and are willing to fork over a big fucking dough to get, what, $150? It was I don't even remember. Streisand, all these people that are like, whose fans are now in their prime earning years, just shut the fuck up and be happy, okay? And they're gonna go down in history. I know as a musician and an artist, you probably ruse that the lower quality people, lower quality music, I understand. But, you know, it can't be perfect. You know, there's some things about society I think work differently. Gene Simmons needs to learn how to enjoy the decline. See the segue? Yeah. I went to college. So anyway, hope that helps. I wouldn't rule. It's not the end of music. Not that it's just going to be different, and there'll always be good rock out there. But you do have to admit that music is constantly evolving, and it'll have its life. It's a lifespan. It's got a life cycle. It will die inevitably. So, but I'd like to say a cheerful toodles, but it is very sad toodles because it will die. Toodles.